Welcome. This is Drew Hill. I'm a trainer with the East Tennessee Women's Lacrosse Officials Association. Today I've got a presentation titled Girls Lacrosse Penalty Administration Examples. This includes visual depictions of major and minor foul penalty administration for the girls' high school game. This presentation was created in conjunction with the East Tennessee Women's Lacrosse Officials Association and their parent organization, the Tennessee Women's Lacrosse Officials Association, members of U.S. Lacrosse's Tennessee chapter. This is for use by any interested parties, especially certified trainers with U.S. Lacrosse for potential use with their associations as desired. A reference that accompanies this presentation is the Women's Lacrosse Rules Abbreviated form. This is included in Unit 5 of the 2016 Student Workbook, part of the USL training materials provided by USL this year to the certified trainers and board chairs. I've prepared the scenarios to provide a visual association for the scenarios described on the worksheet. It's not a complete review of all penalty scenarios, but it's a starting point. We've got potential future presentations that include goal circle fouls, card administration, double fouls, subsequent versus simultaneous fouls, and any other suggested scenarios that the audience may want to see depicted. Feedback is always welcome regarding accuracy and clarity of the presentation, and thanks to those who've already provided that input. That is greatly appreciated. And thanks in advance for continued input and your patience going forward. Let's get started. Here we'll start with a foul outside the CSA. For reference in this presentation, red will always be defense, blue will always be attack. Here we have a red defender pushing the blue attack player with the ball. The whistle is blown and the players stop. We'll issue or administer this foul as a major foul. We'll do this by returning the ball to the offended player and place them at the spot of the foul. We'll place the offender 4 meters behind, and if needed, we will place other players. We'll move them 4 meters away from the new free position. Next example is a foul occurring in the CSA but above the arc, so we're between the 12 meter and the 8 meter arc. Here a red defender detains a blue attack player with the ball. Whistle's blown, the players stop. We'll administer this as a major foul by returning the offended player and the ball back to the spot of the foul. The offender will be placed 4 meters behind the free position, and others will be moved 4 meters away from the free position, and a lane will be cleared prior to the lead restarting with their whistle. Next scenario occurs in the arc, which is again inside the CSA. Here we'll have a red defender block a blue attack player with the ball. Whistle's blown and the play is stopped. This will be administered as a major foul. Here, the ball is given to the offended player and they are placed at the hash mark on the 8 meter closest to the spot of the foul. In this case, it is the first inside hash on the right side. The offender is going to be placed at the 12. This is 4 meters behind the free position. Others will be moved 4 meters away from the free position and will clear the lane in the arc. Let's be careful that we maintain the same relative position that was in effect at the time the foul occurred. Here we'll need to make sure, since we're on the first inside hash, that our players don't line up next to the arc, but that they're placed beyond the line from the hanging hash on the right side to the point at the goal line extended in the goal circle. The trail may need to help out the lead when setting up this free position to ensure the players are in the right spot. And then the lead will restart after they make sure the players are all ready, including the goalkeeper. Next scenario, since attackers foul, that's a point of emphasis yet again this year. We have a scenario here where a blue attack player charges or forces through a red defender in the arc. Whistle's blown, the players stop. We're going to change possession, and the ball is going to be awarded to the red team. Blue loses the ball. It's a major foul. And the ball goes to the offended player, and that player is going to be placed on the 8-meter arc at a point closest to the foul. So the red player will be given the ball, and this is not necessarily on a hash. It's just simply at a point on the 8-meter arc closest to the point of the foul. The offender is going to be placed 4 meters behind. All others are going to be moved 4 away from the free position, and we're going to be careful to maintain the same relative position in existence at the time of the foul, prior to the lead changing to the new trail and restarting play with their whistle. Next is a foul below the goal line extended in the CSA. Here we have a red defender reaching across the body of the ball handler in blue. It's a major foul, and we will administer it by giving the ball to the offended player and placing them at the dot closest to the spot of the foul. The offender is going to be placed 4 meters behind, and all others will be moved 4 meters away from the new free position if required. This is the free position setup prior to the lead restarting play with their whistle. In this scenario, we've got the red defender covering the ball. Since the blue player is in proximity to play the ball and is making an attempt and in position to attempt to play the ball, this cover is called. We're below the goal line extended in the CSA. This is a minor foul, so we'll administer this by giving the ball to the offended player and placing them at the dot closest to the spot of the foul. The offender will be placed 4 meters away, maintaining the same relative position that was in effect at the time of the foul. Others, as required, will be moved 4 meters away from the free position prior to restart by the lead official. This is the free position setup. Here we have another, a minor foul in the fan. So we're in the CSA above the goal line extended. This is a minor foul in the fan. We have an empty check committed by the goalkeeper not grounded in the goal circle. By not being grounded in the goal circle, that just means the goalkeeper is treated like they're another player out on the field and will administer the foul as such. So here we have an entry pass made from the 12 meter at the goal line extended into the right side of the arc. Before the blue player can make a play on the ball, the goalkeeper commits an empty check. That's a minor foul. Since we're in the fan, we'll administer it as follows. The ball will be given to the offended player, and they'll be placed on the fan at the spot closest to the foul. An easy way to remember this is we'll draw a line from the goal through the spot of the foul to the goal, to the 12-meter fan, and that's where we'll place the offended player and the ball for their free position. The offender, in this case the goalkeeper, since they're not grounded in the goal circle and can't return to the goal circle, they'll be placed 4 meters away, maintaining their relative position that was in effect at the point of the foul. In this case, they'll be in front of the free position shot between the goal and the free position. And all others will be moved 4 meters away from the free position as well. Prior to restarting play, we'll make sure the officials use the word indirect and direct that towards the ball handler at the free position. This is their cue that they will not be able to legally shoot until they are played or they have attempted to pass the ball. The word indirect is the official's cue that we do not have to set up a lane. The lead will restart. Shooting space is not in effect on this play until a pass is made or the ball is played, the attacker is played, the attacker at the free position is played. I have an example of this scenario set up improperly on video that I can share at a later date. Here we've got, we're outside the CSA. We have a cover committed by a red defender. Again, this is a minor foul. The ball is going to be awarded to the offended player at the spot of the foul. The offender will go 4 meters away, maintaining relative position in effect at the time of the foul, and others will be moved 4 meters away from the new free position. So in this case, the blue player will come to the spot of the ball to take possession of the ball, and the red player moves 4 meters away in the same relative position. The lead again will restart this play with their whistle. Offsides, we have 2 scenarios for defensive offsides, inside the fan and outside. Here we have a condition where the ball is outside the fan when the offside is called. Here, the defensive offside is a delayed call and is called when blue loses their advantage or loses possession of the ball. Here they've been double teamed before the red defensive team can correct their offside. So the whistle is blown by the umpire, and this is a major foul. First thing we do is find the defender closest to the restraining line and correct the offsides by placing them above the restraining line. Next, we take the attacker closest to the ball and give them the ball at the spot of the ball, making sure that we've placed them at least 8 meters from the goal circle. The offender, in this case, it'll be the defender closest to the ball at the time the foul was whistled. We'll place them 4 meters behind, and others will move 4 meters away from the free position as necessary. Prior to restart, this is how the free position set up for defensive offsides outside the fan will look prior to the lead restarting play with their whistle. Defensive offsides inside the fan. Blue has lost their advantage or lost possession of the ball, and offsides on the defense is whistled. It's a major foul. We'll correct the offside, same as we did the prior. The ball will go to the attacker that is located closest to the top of the 12-meter fan. In this case, it is not the ball handler. So this is the different twist on how we handle administration of an offside foul inside the fan. Also, the defensive player closest to the top of the 12-meter will be placed 4 meters behind the free position shot, the free position. All others will be moved 4 meters away from the free position, and the lane will be cleared. So here we'll see the offsides corrected. The attack player in blue closest to the 12-meter is set up at the top of the 12-meter. The defensive red player closest to the top of the 12-meter is set up 4 meters behind the top of the 12-meter or the free position shot. And as you can see, the lane is cleared prior to the lead restarting play. Attack offsides, this is an immediate whistle. So here we have an attacker coming down and not having somebody else stay back. We've got 8 people below the restraining line. This scenario shows what we do with when the call is whistled with the ball greater than 8 meters from the goal circle. It's a major foul. We'll go ahead and pick the attacker closest to the restraining line and place them back above the restraining line to correct the offsides. The ball will be given to the defender closest to the spot of the ball, at the spot of the ball. The offender, or the attacker with the ball, typically, will be placed 4 meters behind, and the others will be moved 4 meters away from the free position, in this case taken by the red team. So prior to restart by the new trail or old lead, this is how the free position setup would be at the spot of the ball. Here we have an attack offside call made where we're within 8 meters of the goal circle. Here we're in the arc. It's a major foul. We're going to award it to red going the opposite direction. Here we're going to correct the offside by moving the attacker closest to the restraining line back above the restraining line. We're going to give the ball to the defensive player closest to the ball at the whistle, and then we're going to move them to a spot on the 8-meter arc closest to the spot of the ball when the whistle was blown. The offender or the attacker closest to the ball at the time the whistle was blown will be placed 4 meters behind, and other players will be moved 4 meters away as necessary from the free position. Prior to restart, by the new trail or the old lead, this is how the free position setup would look like. Last scenario for an offside attack is when the attack player with the ball is the last one below to cross and become below the restraining line, thus causing the offside on the attack team. Since they're the violator or the offender, we're going to treat this a little bit differently. We're going to pay attention to the spot of the ball, call this a major foul, give possession to the red team going the opposite direction, but we'll correct the offsides by making sure that the attacker closest to the restraining line without the ball is used to correct the offsides. Then we'll give the ball to the defensive player in red closest to the ball, and we'll give them the ball at the spot of the ball when the whistle was blown. The offender is the attacker with the ball. They'll be placed 4 meters behind, and all others will move 4 meters away from the free position as necessary. So prior to restart by the new trail, who's the old lead, this is the free position setup. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you at the next one.